Hi everyone, this is Sharan here. Welcome to my channel. Today in this video, we are going to see an interesting story of a person who made use of his data analytical skills in order to earn a lot of money. This video is inspired from a series of tweets, news articles, as well as blogs. I will be providing you links to each of those sources in the description. So this story is about the person called Matthew Benham. Matthew Benham started his career as an banter, moves on to become a professional gambler, and earns enough money that he was able to own his childhood dream football club, Brentford Football Club. So we are going to exactly see the journey of this particular person, how data analytics helped him to make a lot of money. So Matthew Benham is a graduate in physics from Oxford University. After graduation, Matthew Benham joins a company as an associate. After a few years, what happens is Matthew Benham joins Bank of America. He spends few years in Bank of America. At one point in time, he even becomes the vice president. At around 2001, for some reason, Matthew Benham decides to quit his banking job. He joins a gambling company called as Premier Bet. The interesting part of Matthew Benham's story happens here. So Matthew Benham is able to meet world's one of the best professional gambler, Tony Bloom. It is his association with the Premier Bet as well as Tony Bloom converts him into a professional gambler. But the difference here is Matthew Benham is a person who is very strong in data analytical skills and also makes his decisions based on the data-driven approach. So Matthew Benham uses his analytical skills and uses the data-driven approach in order to place his bets. It is not exactly known how much money Matthew Benham made as part of his career as a professional gambler, but definitely based on the different sources, Matthew Benham looks to have made a lot of money as a professional gambler. In 2004, Matthew Benham, along with some of his friends who are like-minded, who are heavily skilled in data analytics, also have a good knowledge about sports, they form a betting syndicate. So this company is called as Smart Odds. They provide consulting services to other professional gamblers. So what happens is Matthew Benham, whatever he was doing for himself, whatever analysis he was doing for himself, in order to make sure that he's able to win the bets and he's able to make a lot of money, he's offering this as a service to other professional gamblers and help them in order to make a lot of money. So at one point in time, Matthew Benham earns enough money, he earns enough money to buy a betting website called as Matchbook. At around 2006, what happens is Matthew Benham comes to know that his childhood dream football club, the Brentford Football Club, is in a very bad financial crisis. So Matthew Benham offers the help. He provides a loan of $700,000, and when the stakeholders of this football club were unable to pay this money back, he becomes the owner of this football club in around 2012. So what happens is Matthew Benham makes use of his data analytical skills. He's recruiting a lot of people who are heavily skilled in data analytics, and he's not relying on the wins as well as losses in order to measure the progress of his football club. So what he is doing is he's coming up with various KPIs for both the players as well as team in order to measure how they are progressing, whether they are progressing in the direction or not, how well each of those players are performing as compared to the previous match. Is there an improvement? What should be the areas which they needs to be focused on? So he's bringing a whole lot of new sets of KPIs in order to measure the players as well as the team's performance. While the rich football clubs were relying on the youth academies in order to build and nurture the talent, what happens is Matthew Benham is focusing on the B teams. He's tracking the performance of various players playing for the B teams and he's monitoring them closely. So what he is doing is he's buying the best players from the B teams for a low cost, and he's winning the matches bid and selling off these players to the bid football clubs for a huge margin. So he made a lot of money as part of this particular strategy, and he's putting all this money back to his club, and then he's helping his club to grow. Currently, his football club, the Brentford Football Club, after winning the Champions Playoff, has moved from a fourth tier football club to Premier League. The valuation of his football club currently is over 300 million. So when he won this football club, it was in a debt of 700,000, and currently the valuation is over 300 million. So this is story of an extraordinary person who was able to make use of his data analytical skills in order to make a lot of money, not only in his professional gambling experience, but also in his journey as owner of a football club. I hope this story inspires you, and this story opens up a lot of opportunities that you can monetize using the data analytical skills. If you like this particular story, if you have learned something new, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Apart from these stories, I made a lot of content related to data science. I even have a video series about learning data science in 100 days. For people who are trying to learn data science, it's very difficult for them to focus on the different sets of topics that is required for them to establish a career in data science. So what I am doing as part of this journey is I am covering all the key topics that is required for someone who's aspiring to become a data scientist, and helping them to learn all these different topics, helping them to understand all these different topics, and providing them source codes as well as links to learn more about each of those topics, and make sure they are ready for a data scientist job interview. So if you know someone who's trying to learn data science, please refer them to this particular YouTube channel. And I hope you have learned something new and enjoyed this particular video, and see you in the next session. Bye until then.